Hey everyone, welcome back to a new episode of In the Cup, and we have a lot to cover today. But first, since we didn't get to do it last week, Amanda, I'm going to let you give your parting words to this Summer House saga because the bonus
Yeah.
episode aired. The social
Mhm.
media around it has died down a little bit. So
Yes.
if you want to give the
Yes.
viewers your final words, at least for this summer or
Yes.
this year for last
This
summer.
year. Yeah. It's crazy to think that like filming for them starts next week
Yeah.
because they always start July 4th weekend. So I'm sure we're going to hear a bunch of cast announcements and things like that coming up. But I do think the aftermath was good. I don't think it cleared anything else up.
No.
I think it just added and perpetuated West, and he couldn't look Kyle in the eye. You can tell there were things that like Amanda was trying to come around to, but then knowing that this was filmed and then they go to Italy like 3 days later or like the next week, like
Yeah.
I
No remorse.
no remorse.
They're just going to carry on their merry way.
Yeah, but there's been a lot of blind items through like Demois of that fact that they are on the rocks and might break up,
Mm,
which
sure.
shocking, duh, which I hate that, right? Like going
Yeah.
through a breakup of any sort is horrible, but in the public eye, and now that you don't have any other friends,
Yeah.
is
True.
hard. But no, I mean, I think Summer House, this was the most viewed season and reunion ever,
Yeah.
period. Their ratings are up. Their viewership is up. I think Summer House has always been like a niche show where not a lot of people watch it.
Hmm.
But I think now it's going to make that turn. So, you know, hopefully it's not going to be with Amanda. I know West has already gotten kicked off.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask you that,
Yeah.
what you think for
Mhm.
new cast, old cast not returning.
Yeah. I think West and Amanda should not come back.
Yeah.
I think
At least
Amanda
not this
needs
summer.
time. No. I think Amanda needs time away from the public eye. Go hang with Raquel in the desert of Arizona and get away from New York City.
Yeah. Has
But
the money to do so.
yeah, literally. I think Lindsay, Kyle, Carl should all really come back, if not every week, then like sporadic, like Lindsay did this past season, because
Yeah.
they're just like the crew. When I think Summer House, I think them.
Hmm.
So I feel like this next season, they should introduce others, right? Like I think we should keep Mia. I think we should keep KJ. I think we should keep the OGs, but
Hmm.
bring in a few other new people and start to build the next phase of the show.
Yeah.
Which I mean, rumors have it that they're going to build the show around Sierra. Which
I mean, that
you
seems
know
like the
what?
next
It
natural step.
Yeah. And I think it's what's hard, and obviously, like, it's reality TV, right? Like, we're going to see what they want us to see, but you can tell that Sierra is very genuine and she will have hard conversations. She
Hmm.
pushed to have really hard conversations about race, about dating,
Interracial dating.
yeah, interracial dating. She brought up a lot of these conversations that were never brought up in the
Hmm.
Summer House before because it has been predominantly white. So I think they're just stepping into a kind of a new phase.
Yeah.
I hate that the first phase ended the way that it did after 10 years, but West should go back to his hometown, go back
Where's
to
he from?
Missouri. He's
Oh,
from
okay.
like Missouri. Like, bye. So
Find some new friends.
yes, seriously. So yeah, so we'll see. I think he'll be fine, but get off my
Yeah.
TV screen.
He'll find a way to survive. He already has. I
Yeah.
mean, he's still running his mouth on his podcast and everything. So
Yeah.
he will find a way to get the attention that he so desperately is seeking. Well, we'll see what happens on this summer of Summer House. We watch it
Yeah.
next year and see what else is coming down the line. But thank you, Amanda, for bringing us on
Yes.
this Summer House journey. To get to the sports, a lot of sports this
Lots of
weekend,
sport.
obviously with the World Cup and all of that. So we'll start with the
Mhm.
World Cup. USA won their second game, and now they are automatically into the knockout rounds. I think they have 6 points because they have 2 wins. Yeah. But can
Mhm.
I just say, Australia has the cutest name for their team. They're called the Socceroos, and it is just adorable.
So cute.
Yeah. Apparently, like a lot of, their women's national team and like some of the junior teams have, I think the
Mhm.
junior team is called the Joeys. So I just love the
Oh,
play on
I
obviously
love that.
kangaroos.
Yeah, leaning into it.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if Christian Pulisic didn't play this last game and this game this week is not necessary. I doubt he'll play this
Mhm.
week.
Yeah,
And they'll probably just save him for the knockout rounds. Argentina won, I believe. Yeah,
yeah.
Messi has the record for World Cup
Uh-huh.
goals with 18. I don't know why I thought it was 100. Maybe it was like 100 matches, but it's 18
Maybe.
goals, 18 World Cup
I mean,
goals. He set a record.
that's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that he was that close to, I guess, breaking the record. And then but I was watching and he took like one penalty shot
Yeah.
and I was like, is this it? Is this gonna be it? And it
And he
wasn't
missed it.
it. And he missed it. I was
It
like,
was not it.
ooh, it was not it. But
Yeah.
then he scored two more. So
Yeah. Just doing what Messi does.
yeah, I mean, for his age and for everything that he's done, I think there's obviously a lot of hype around him, but like I think people need to start seeing him for one of the best soccer players, football players,
Yeah,
really
for sure.
ever.
Yeah. On the flip side of that, Ronaldo was getting a lot of
Yes.
heat because
Mhm.
everyone was saying he wasn't playing to like his max capability, was playing kind of
Mhm.
lazy. I don't know if all of the social media comments and stuff from teammates and camp were true. I doubt it. It was probably just stirring the pot and fans
Yeah.
just, you know. But I mean, him, Messi, Neymar, like they've all been around for 15 to 20
Mhm.
years and they're
Yeah.
still the best players in the world. So I don't know if Portugal
Crazy.
goes all the way, which I don't know if they will because they've been
Yeah.
playing kind of iffy in their pool, but we'll see. And Freddie, our German tourist friend, has made his
Yes.
way to Canada, and he has just blown up. Like he had his flight delayed from Dallas to Canada, and he had multiple airlines reaching out. He had, I
Stop.
think, yeah, like the Prime Minister of Canada saying, like, let's get you here. Like everyone is on this Freddie train. Now he's going to Niagara Falls and documenting his travels through
Good for him.
Canada. Yeah, just living the dream. Who knew? Like that's like
Yeah.
the cool power of social media where like this random
Mhm.
tourist can come to another country. And I think it's bringing to light like the good in the United
Yeah.
States. There's a lot of
Yeah.
obviously negative press about the United States outside of our country and inside of our country.
Yeah.
So a lot of Europeans have been saying like we just have all of these negative views of the United States.
Mhm.
So even though it's like stupid things like going to Target or discovering
Yeah.
ranch or going to Taco Bell, it's still bringing some of the good things about our
Yeah.
country,
And
our gluttonous country.
camaraderie. Oh,
Yeah.
that too. No, last week when you first told me about Freddie, that was the first I ever heard of him. And then
Yeah.
literally I was on the phone with my friend Erica that afternoon and she was like, "Oh my God, I have to send you this guy Freddie." And I was like,
Wait a minute.
I know about him. But no, I agree. I think it's the camaraderie that we've seen. Like, obviously, Freddie and his social media presence is one thing, but
Mhm.
with the USA game and just even all of the different countries, right? I have a number of people that I know that are from Colombia and the way that they've been all rallying for these games. And I think it's silly, but like Love Island is happening right now, but
Mhm.
that is bringing everyone together too, right? It could be something like sports, it could be something reality TV, it could be social
Mhm.
media. And I think as a country, we just needed this happy time to be able to just like lighten the moment. And
Mhm.
we're all in this together and we can have fun and still cheer for the soccer teams.
Yeah. Did you see the Norwegian team? You know how they do like the row chant
Yes.
in Times Square with
So
the yoga?
funny. Yeah.
Yeah, so just moments like that. And then the Korean fans and the Mexican fans that were
Hmm.
drinking together. I thought that was
Yeah.
funny too. So to your point, I'm glad because obviously there was so much negativity around like the World Cup
Yeah.
and what's going to happen. But we're
Hmm.
just seeing fans from across the board come together. And that's what the World Cup is supposed to do. It's supposed to bring
Hmm.
cultures and countries and teams and people together. So I'm glad we're
Yeah.
seeing that part of the
Agreed.
event and not all of the ugly.
Hmm.
But there was one ugly story that I want to highlight. And there's a Belgian player whose spouse or significant other is set to give birth to their first child. And there was a female reporter, shockingly enough, who said that it was basically dumb for him to skip out on the World Cup for a few days to go be at the birth of his first child. And I mean, we saw it with Scottie, right? He said at the Masters that he was going to leave if Bennett was, or any of his children were being born. But I just thought it was kind of crazy that she made, and she went so far into the comment too. It wasn't just like a passerby comment. She went into a whole thing about why this is like a dumb decision, and it just surprised me, especially coming from a woman. Like we always talk about, you know, F-boys like Wes and deadbeat dads and things like that. And this guy actually wants to be there for the birth of his child, and he'll leave.
And you're
probably
gonna call it dumb?
Yeah, the most important, and this is probably one of the most important events of his professional soccer career, that he's going to leave for this, and you're criticizing it. And it's just wild to me. So needless to say, I don't agree.
No.
But,
and it just goes to show like her morals. Like, okay, you might think it's dumb, but first of all, it's not. Like, one, it's their decision, right? Whether you think it's dumb or not, it doesn't. Sorry. I just looked out the window like briefly, and there was just a deer walking right past. Just like slowly
pause
walking.
this broadcast.
It just scared me.
God. Amazing. This is what happens when you live in the southern parts of the United States, folks. Freddie, do you want to come on the podcast?
Freddie, yes.
We can open your eyes to more of what happens.
You can see the wildlife in my front yard.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that just shows like there's more to sports, and we'll get to that more when we talk about Wyndham Clark later. But yeah, I thought it was just kind of a crazy comment, especially coming from a female.
And like, it just, one, it's not a good look for females in general, but also, first of all, it's a Belgian player. They're not from here. First of all, they're in a completely different continent than their wife and soon-to-be baby. And also, like, the morals and the family camaraderie and, like, all of that is so different over there than it is here. So, like, don't, like, I love the saying, like, don't yuck my yum. Like, don't yuck his yum of wanting to go there and, like, be there for his child, which is a huge, momentous occasion. But also that you're just showing that you're a dumb American, in my opinion.
Actually, I don't even know if that person was American, but either way, dumb comment.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. The family unit is a little different in Europe. I'm glad I actually don't know her name, because I don't want to give her any more press than she has received. But yeah, not a good look. Moving to tennis, as we speculated and wanted and predicted, the GOAT Serena Williams confirmed that she and Venus will be playing doubles at Wimbledon. And then this past week, there was rumblings that there was one singles wild card left, and they ended up giving it to Serena. So she's going to be playing as a wild card in the women's singles draw as well. And I think Wimbledon starts after the 4th of July. We'll have to take a look. But they're going through all the pre-grass court tournaments. Your friend, Big Foe, won last weekend against Taylor Fritz. So good for Big Foe. Maybe that will give him some momentum going into Wimbledon. And our friends at Live Golf, not too much there, other than it's probably in impending doom. But Ian Poulter and Lee Westwood settled all of their outstanding DP World Tour fines, meaning that they can come back after the suspension. I don't know if anyone was missing Ian Poulter and Lee Westwood, but I think that just shows the growing trend of the crap moment, and everyone's trying to figure out what they're going to do when this all kind of falls apart. So, but if you ask the CEO of Live, he doesn't think anything's wrong, apparently. So,
no. Well, and it's just crazy if you just think back like a year ago, all the hype around Live, and now like the only news out is that people are settling their fine.
Yeah, and planning their exit strategies.
Correct.
Which I did see a post, obviously not sure if it's true or not, but Bryson, they're trying to find ways for Bryson to come back. And I'm wondering, I don't know if these tour changes have they do have a lot to do with Liv, because Liv kind of pushed them to make changes, right, for the PGA Tour
Yeah.
to relook at how they're structured. But I'm wondering if this Challenger Tour is going to play into a pathway back for the live players. Like they'll have to play Challenger
Hmm.
Tour events in order to qualify to get to the Champion Tour, which is the higher track. But we'll get to that when we talk to the schedule
Yeah.
changes for 2028. But I'm sure it went into the considerations.
I'm sure because they're going to have an influx of people wanting
Mhm.
to come back. And listen, yeah, the PGA has their stuff, but they also don't want to miss out on some of these top names coming back either.
Yeah, and by top names, if you mean just Bryson and like Tyrrell Hatton
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
Cam
yeah.
Smith.
I was going to say, what big names are even over there?
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if Dustin
You
Johnson
can
would come back. Do you think? Because he
no,
actually didn't do too bad at Shinnecock this past
no,
weekend. And even at the PGA Championship, he didn't do too bad. But I'm just wondering if he cares to come back
yeah.
or not. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like with him, it's almost like an ego game. I don't, but like also, it's not like he's much older. So
Yeah, I think he's what, late 30s maybe?
yeah, early 40s
Yeah.
maybe.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I feel like he's just had this whole like laissez-faire attitude towards
mhm,
golf. Like
agreed.
I play, I'm good, but I don't need it, or I don't know.
Mhm.
It's just like the vibes that he gives off as like a
Yeah.
not caring mode.
Mhm.
And obviously like he's married to Paulina Gretzky and they can just do whatever they
Yeah.
want right off into
Quite
the
literally.
sunset. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But actually, that's one of the ones that I'm probably top 5 most curious about if DJ will
Agreed.
come back. Yeah.
Yeah. They can keep Phil.
Well, I don't think Phil's
I don't
going
even think
anywhere. At least not to the Farms Club here in San Diego. He is not going anymore.
he's not going
No
anywhere.
new
He
news
should
about Phil actually this past
no.
week. I'm sure more details may come out about that. And in a blockbuster move in the NBA, there had been some rumblings that Giannis wanted to leave Milwaukee and put out some
Mhm.
feelers. Boston and Miami were actually his top 2 choices. I can't believe that Boston was considering giving up Jaylen Brown. But
Agreed.
yeah, but Miami made a deal. So Giannis and Bobby Portis, I believe, are going to Miami.
Mhm.
And Miami is giving up Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez, a couple of others, and
Mhm.
I think 3 first-round picks. I don't know. I feel
That's
like
a big
Milwaukee
trade.
probably won in this. I just don't know.
100%.
Yeah, when you get a blockbuster player, but you still need a supporting cast around them.
Correct.
So I don't know how this is going to work out, but moving from Miami to Milwaukee must be like a huge culture shock.
Yes. I mean, and even the other way around, like
Yeah.
Giannis in Miami,
Oh boy.
we're gonna get so many memes, so many
Yeah.
pictures. Like it's, keep an eye on this man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
He
he's a
might get
big
in some
family
trouble.
guy. I think he has what,
Mhm.
three kids. And one of the reasons why he stayed in Milwaukee or part of the deal was because his brother also played there. So I don't know if there was
Mm.
any play there. He's a big family guy, but
Yeah,
Miami can change people. So
it
we'll
sure
have to
can.
keep an eye on the adventures of Giannis in Miami. Maybe him and Freddie can start a series about their
Yes.
travels together.
Incredible. Please.
Yeah, but I don't even know what Freddie looks like. I think in all the pictures he like covers his face and he covers the faces of people that he's with.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I don't even know what Freddie looks like. He's a
Freddie
mystery.
who or
Yeah, the most notorious mystery out there right now.
yeah. Hmm.
But I'm sure we'll see more of Freddie in the upcoming weeks as this World Cup goes on.
Yeah.
But obviously the biggest event this week, the US Open, your
Mhm.
winner, Wyndham Clark. It's his second US Open win. He won also in 2023 at LA Country Club. It was a wire-to-wire win, which is very rare that he was able to keep that lead. Almost lost it, but kept it.
Mhm.
$4.5 million. And I think it's safe to say he wasn't the favorite to win. Scottie
No. Of
obviously
course.
was the favorite to win, and Wyndham and Scottie were paired together on Sunday, so I'm sure that didn't add to his ease of play on Sunday. But
Mhm.
there's obviously a history there. Wyndham hasn't made it easy for people to like him, especially in the
Yeah.
last year. All of the locker room stuff at Oakmont, which he has made amends for, and he is allowed to play at Oakmont again. He had some comments at the par 3 contest at the Masters. I think he threw a club and did some damage at Quail Hollow last year. But,
Yeah.
you know, if you guys don't know the story of Wyndham Clark, he was supposed to play at Oklahoma State with Ricky Fowler, and his mom passed away from cancer when he was 19, when he was just starting that college career, and that kind of led him into a little bit of a tailspin, and that's one of the reasons for a lot of his anger issues. And his mom was his biggest supporter, and even on her deathbed was like, like, you're special, go play big. And I think obviously I haven't had to experience the loss of a parent, thank God, but I can't
Yeah.
imagine, especially at that age when you're going into adulthood, you have your biggest supporter, and then you have all these moments after where you're thinking like, she's not there, like, why isn't she here? All of these things are happening to
Yeah.
me, but she's not here. So I can't even imagine what that feels like. It doesn't excuse the antics,
No.
but just a different perspective.
It helps you understand him a little
Yeah.
bit more. Like, I had texted you when I was watching this weekend, and I was like, I didn't realize everyone hated him. Like, I've
Yeah.
heard, like, obviously, like, the locker room incident and things like that, but, like, we can probably name other people on tour that have thrown clubs, that have had some
Yeah.
anger issues. Like, listen, we love Scottie, but Scottie had some anger issues on the course. What was it, last week?
Yeah, with Ted
That
Scott. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, and obviously that's a very different situation, but it's just, you gotta go follow people with grace. You know, I think at the end of the day, it's a huge feat to win the US Open, especially twice. But I mean, I think I cried, obviously.
Yep, same. And his dad was there. His dad flew in
And I
from
cried.
Colorado on a red
Yeah.
eye to be there.
Yeah.
I guess that his dad hasn't been in a lot of his tournaments, so that was a really special moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely had some tears flowing, but it was bad from the stories that I've seen. Like, people were not yelling in his backswing, but
Yeah.
saying like, "Don't choke." They would clap and cheer when he ended up in the bunker or his ball went off the green. I saw a story that there weren't that many cheers like when he made big putts. There was a big putt that he made, I think, on 13 on Sunday, where he drained it from off the green, and it wasn't, it wasn't the roars that you would probably hear with like a Scottie or
Yeah.
Rory. But usually when an American is in the lead at the US Open, it's a big deal.
It's
Like
big.
we've seen the USA chants with Matt Fitzpatrick at RBC. Rory's getting heckled at every tournament that he goes to now.
All of them.
So it's really rare to see an American get so much hate at a US Open particularly. And I'm curious, Amanda, as a New Yorker,
I was gonna
because
say, these damn New York.
Long Island's getting a pretty bad reputation between Bethpage, even the Knicks celebration with some of the Spurs fans getting kind of berated and attacked in the streets. What
I
are
have
your
words
thoughts
for
about?
that.
What are your thoughts overall about the bad rep that New York is getting, specifically Long Island?
Listen, it's warranted. I get it. The Gilger Beach murderer was on Long Island too. He just got sentenced. New Yorkers, they're jerks. They are. I do think, just like trying to figure out how I can phrase this with it
without insulting a whole population of people.
And myself. But no, I mean, listen, New Yorkers are very direct. I do think that there are probably a lot of people that were not from there.
Yeah.
Traveling in. But I will say, I feel like when you're at a course on Long Island for a big tournament like this, it's a frat party, right?
Yeah.
Look at the Ryder
True.
Cup. They've been drinking all day. They're there for a good time. And I don't know why I'm yelling at this guy, but I'm going to do it because the three people next to me are doing it. Like, I think it's just
mob mentality a little
mob
bit.
mentality almost. But yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
And I don't think New Yorkers will ever get rid of that rep. And honestly, as they shouldn't, because where else in the country would you be where you're going to get heckled like that besides New York?
Yeah.
I mean, Florida maybe, but like a bunch of people from up north are down there.
Yeah. I think just the level of it was wild to me. Like, you expect, especially at a Ryder Cup, for there to be heckling and USA chants and things like that. But I feel like there still needs to be a line to which, like, I feel like a line was crossed at Bethpage. I think a line was crossed
100%.
here. Like, you can even cheer against people and not have it be as nasty
do it respectfully,
as it was. Yeah. And it just makes it not fun for everyone, and it's a bad look on the sport.
Yeah.
So
New Yorkers
growing
are
pains.
obnoxious. New Yorkers are very obnoxious. When they have an opinion, they're going to tell you. You're going to know
Yeah.
it. And I think it's also like New York. I saw a post on Threads on Monday because it was raining in New York, and everyone was like,
Oh, yeah.
thank God it's raining, because New York hasn't slept. We
Yeah.
went from the Knicks, we went to the World Cup, and then we had the US Open within
Yeah.
15 days. Like,
The city that never sleeps needs a nap.
correct. Everyone needed a nap. Everyone needs an IV and to stop drinking. And
Yeah.
maybe people will be a little bit happier.
Yeah. I'm curious, though. I guess the test will be, and the President's Cup isn't as crazy as the Ryder Cup, but the President's Cup is at Medina this year in Chicago. And I mean, Chicago fans are passionate sports fans as well. Maybe not as crazy as New York fans, but we'll see. Let's see what happens at the President's Cup and see how that goes.
Yeah.
Although in the President's Cup is the world, a lot more Asian fans. We are a tamer bunch.
Yes.
When it comes to the cheering. So
exactly.
We'll see.
Yeah. No, New York and Long Island are a bunch of white men who are just obnoxious. New Yorkers in general are obnoxious. I haven't seen someone wearing a piece of Knicks hat or shirt where I haven't been like, Knicks in 5. Like, obnoxious. The game, it was 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago at this point. We're not going to let you forget it. And we're going to talk about it all the time.
Granted, nor you should.
Obnoxious.
You waited 50 years. So live it up. But let's just live it up respectfully.
Correct. No need to heckle Wyndham Clark, okay?
And I think he's admitted his shortcomings and he's apologized ad nauseum for it. So let's just let the guy live. Oh, if he gives us a reason, like we said, there are plenty of other guys out there who have done horrible, horrible things. I don't think his intent is to be malicious. And a lot of the things are more self-inflicted than inflicted upon others.
Agreed.
The lockers at Oakmont might disagree, but so we'll give Wyndham a little bit of grace. Let him enjoy this moment. It's a big moment for him. I mean, 2 U.S. Opens. Not a lot of people have done that. Not a lot of people have won 2 majors. So let's just give him his flowers and let him enjoy the moment. But I also felt for Sam Burns.
Yeah.
He missed that birdie putt to tie the lead on 18, like by literally this much, like a hair. It skirted the right side of the cup. And if Sam Burns had won too, I wouldn't have been mad about it. And even Scottie was in contention. He didn't do it, but second place going into Sunday, as we've been saying all year, here comes Scottie. Just waiting for him to make a little bit of a move.
He just couldn't make any putts this weekend.
But even his off the tee was wackadoo too.
Well, I mean, listen, not Oakmont, the course that they played at Shinnecock. I'm like, I can see it in my head. Shinnecock is so hard. And the fact that you see these professionals out there struggling. That's how you know it's so hard. Nope.
One of the PGA, the interviewers asked the players as they were coming in what an 18 handicap, which is my handicap, although I don't play from the tips, but what an 18 handicap playing from the tips would score. A lot of them just rolled their eyes at the question because it's just an insane question. Especially, you see it a lot when it comes to the women. You see scratch male golfers saying, oh, I can go out there and beat the LPGA women. I'm like, no, you can't. No.
No.
I'm just going to check you right there.
They're professionals for a reason.
Exactly. And they're the 1 to 2% of golfers in the world that can do this.
Yeah.
And even more so for the men. So a lot of the players just rolled their eyes, or they said definitely triple digits. Even one of them said 125, which I thought was a little generous. 125. But it's tough. And I learned a couple of things, like the stimp this weekend, which I still don't know how they calculate it. But on Saturday, Sunday, it was playing 11 and a half, which is up there with what tournaments, PGA Tour tournaments usually. But everyone was rooting it for it to be super diabolical. They we want the stimp higher and we don't want them to syringe the greens and all this. Everyone just wanted this diabolical tournament that was so hard. But I thought it was, I was a little worried it was going to be a runaway, but by like the end of the front 9, it got close, like 2 to 3
Yeah.
shots. I'm like, yes, this is a
Oh,
Sunday.
yeah.
So I was happy with it. I liked it.
It was a good Father's Day Sunday U.S. Open.
Yeah. Even my dad got into it.
Um,
If you want beginner questions on how
Yeah.
on how golf works, ask my dad, or just
Oh,
write down the
yes.
questions that my dad asked.
Correct.
It was a learning lesson for all. But yeah, the big story of the week too was also the winds. Like I didn't realize that Long Island gets that windy, and you've probably been out there more. But is it like always that windy? Is it a
Yeah.
particular time of, or is it just like where it's situated?
Yeah, I think it was particularly windy this weekend. But yes, just because it's literally like an island, if it's windy, it is windy. Like it'll whip through there. But also, like Long Island is the gold star top tier for great golf.
Yeah.
You know, between Shinnecock and there's like in that area, there's probably like 5 or 6 different crazy
How do
good
they all
golf
fit?
courses. Well, that was gonna be my next point. Like Long Island's not that big. Like
And it's skinny.
and it's skinny and it's oh god, the traffic and
Yeah.
but it's I don't know how they do it, but
Yeah.
no, it does tend to get windy in that area just because of how like the land is set up.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you saw it, but like I was obviously watching all of the stuff leading up to it. And if you look at a map of Shinnecock and you look at the top, there's 3 sets of holes or 3 sets of holes that make up triangles. And they did it that way so that because of the wind, so players would have to play against different wind directions in each of these
That's
triangles.
cool.
Although the middle one is 4, which not, it still makes the shape of a triangle, but 3 sides, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Fine.
they designed it, I guess, specifically for the wind. And you mentioned the traffic, and there were some comments about the crowds not being that big. And I'm wondering if the traffic and like people coming in from the city having to take the Long Island Railroad, I wonder if that contributed to it too. Because how many people can afford a house on Long Island to stay for 2-3 nights, let alone 5? Like I was looking at Pebble next year, and houses are starting for like 5 days are starting at like 10 grand.
Yeah,
So I can't imagine.
Crazy.
Yeah. So having to like hightail it out of there, because it takes an hour to get back into the city on the railway from Shinnecock.
Yeah, on the train, anywhere between an hour and 2 hours, depending on, how many people on the stops and stuff. But yeah, I mean, and driving out there, I mean, it could be up to, 4 hours just from the city. And it's like, you're going like 50 miles. Like, you're not going very far.
Yeah.
But it's just, there's a lot. But I also think it was Father's Day.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on up there. New York also has the World Cup, so they were still getting
whole
loud.
slew of things.
Yep,
Yeah.
they were still getting loud despite the smaller crowds.
Yeah. And one more notable, Bryson missed his 3rd major cut of the year.
Yes.
So I don't know what's going on. I mean,
what?
I could speculate so many things, but
Well, yeah.
normally, like last year, he wasn't this, I guess, bad when it came to he was up there with Rory last year at the Masters, but yeah, Bryson is not showing face. Maybe his priorities have shifted and there's a lot more distractions this year, or maybe he 3D printed the wrong clubs.
Boy.
We'll see what happens when they go to the Open next month and see if he can make at least one cut for the year. But overall, I thought it was a great weekend of golf. There was a lot of drama. And next year, as I mentioned, it'll be in Pebble Beach. So that'll be a really cool one. I don't know. I still have hopes that I can potentially make it out there to see it, but we'll see how that goes. In our LPGA Tour updates, our grocery store classic, the Meyer LPGA Classic, the winner was Miyu Yamashita. And she won in a playoff against Lottie Wood. She shot 8 under on Sunday, which is wild. And then her and Lottie just went back and forth on the back 9. Lottie was up there in the top 3, 2, 3 the whole weekend. But yeah, 8 under is wild. It's her 3rd LPGA Tour win this week. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but this week another major for the LPGA. But I want to briefly talk about before we get into what's upcoming, the schedule changes, because we knew that they were
Yes.
going to make changes for the 2028 season. And Brian Roloff just announced the slew of changes, which we'll talk about it more because I'm sure more details will come out. But
Yeah.
the highlights is basically the tour is going to split into what before they were calling 2 tracks, but essentially it's going to be 2 different tours, I guess. There's a championship series, which is like the top tier. There's going to be 23 to 24 events. So the top players will play that. 120 player fields with a cut. So they're not going to do the no cut 60, 70 player fields anymore. Thank God, because those were kind of boring.
Yes. Yeah.
Minimum $20 million purse. And then they have the Challenger Series, which will also have about 20 events. And sometimes the Challenger Series events and the Championship Series events will play the same weekend. $4 million purses. And Championship Series players can play on the Challenger Series if they want. If you win on the Challenger Series twice, you get an automatic qualifier into the Championship Series. So I guess the biggest question that I've seen is what's happening to the Corn Ferry Tour, which last week Rory called the second track a glorified Corn Ferry Tour. But it seems like, Brian Roloff addressed those comments too during the press conference. I guess 90 players at the end of this series will retain membership, and then 20 from the Challenger could move up.
Okay.
And then there's some tour championship changes that are coming. Like I said, I'm sure there's going to be more.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It seems like a lot of people are in favor of this.
Yeah.
And it seems like the Corn Ferry, Q School, all of that will still be like the development leagues and pathways. And it seems like it's kind of like the tennis model, because tennis has the Challenger Tour as well. So we'll see. I haven't been able to digest all of the news and changes yet.
Yeah.
But Tiger Woods made his first public appearance back. He was on the press conference with Brian Roloff. I guess he was part of a committee with Adam Scott, some other players, and some business folks to kind of drum up this new model. So,
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he zoom in from rehab?
Nope, he was live. He was live in the room, which is crazy because you figure at some point they knew they were going to make this announcement. So the timing, obviously, of him coming back from his rehab was perfectly timed and scheduled. Yeah, exactly. So, like I said, I'm sure more will come out from this announcement. It seems like they're going to expand the courses too. They're getting into new markets, Boston, I think Seattle, a couple others. The prize money is going to stay up there. And the Tour Championship, which is usually played in Eastlake, there's talks that they're going to rotate through, and they're going to go to courses like Pine Valley, Pebble Beach to play the Tour Championship. So all in all, it seems like the players are for it. I'm sure it'll take the fans a little bit to start understanding what's happening, but we have a year. These changes will take, the changes will take effect in 2028. So
When I also wonder how coverage is going to be, and I feel like there's
That's
you said,
true.
there's still a lot up in the air. So obviously we'll come back and talk about it as things progress and as we learn more. But it's interesting. I'm excited. I think let's switch it up. They got to do something to bring these individuals back from live.
Yeah, that's true. And we were talking about earlier, but I'm wondering if this Challenger Tour is going to be the way the live players come back. Like, they won't get to play the Championship Tour, but they'll have to earn their way back on the Challenger Tour, potentially win 2 events or qualify and make it to the higher tour. So I'm sure all of that came into play too when they were talking about this, and probably had to make some adjustments as the live announcements came out. But more to come on that. This week is another signature event that Rory is skipping, the Travelers Championship in Cromwell, Connecticut. And last year's winner was Keegan Bradley. And it was a big event last year for Keegan because of the Ryder Cup. He won this event, and that's what spurred up more of the conversation if he was going to be a playing captain or not. Obviously, we know that he ended up not being a playing captain, but he always treated this tournament as kind of like the home tournament because it's so close to Vermont, where he grew up, and New England and all of that. But yes, I mentioned in passing that Rory is not playing, but Scottie and others are playing, so it'll still be a pretty stacked field. And
Yep.
then on the LPGA Tour, the KPMG PGA Championship at Hazeltine in Minnesota, last year's winner was Minjee Lee. And this is the second oldest women's major.
Wow.
And yeah, I learned a lot about Hazeltine too. They had actually hosted 2 Ryder Cups. I actually have a hat. Actually, this hat
Hmm.
is from the 2000, what year was this? 2016? Yeah, 2016 at
Okay.
Hazeltine. But a pretty big history with women and women's golf when I think it was one of the PGA members wanted to start this course. He always obviously dreamed of it hosting major championships, and the first major that it
Mhm.
hosted was the 1966 US Women's Open.
Very
So,
cool.
yeah, and it was named after Susan Hazeltine, who was the first woman teacher in Carver County, Minnesota. So,
Okay.
I know some people that are going from like a corporate standpoint, and they said there is, I mean, obviously it's the women's championship, but
Mhm.
there is a big emphasis on the women's golf game. I think they're gonna have some panels with women
Good.
business executives and things like that, and really kind of spreading that message and growing the women's game and putting that emphasis on
Mhm.
women's golf and women in business. So I think that's pretty cool. And
Yeah.
Hazeltine is set to also host the 2029 Ryder Cup, and it will be the only American course to host 2 Ryder Cups, which is
Wow.
interesting to think about now that I go back.
Yeah.
And they raised the purse again. Another purse raise, 13 million, the biggest
Wow.
purse of any, I think, major and regular tournament. So good for the ladies.
Good for them. And
And
it's not named after a grocery store.
yeah, KPMG.
Switching it up.
I've seen a lot of KPMG executives post on LinkedIn today about the purse and all that stuff. So it seems like they're
Mm,
very proud to contribute to increasing the purse for
good.
women. And we'll see. Ellie's won 2 majors this year. Let's see if
Mhm.
she can keep it rolling.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about Hazeltine in terms of course layout. We'll probably take a look into it as the week goes on
Mhm.
and as more stuff comes out. But I am excited about this one. I'm kind of glad that they're switching off. Like we had the women's US Open and then the men's, and then
Mhm.
we'll have the KPMG this week. So
Right.
keep the golf excitement going. But
Yes.
fans, be respectful and be nice out
Be
there.
be nice.
Yeah,
Don't
just
be
be
a
kind.
jerk.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is all we have for today. I mean, that was a lot.
Yeah.
We'll see what comes of the scheduling. We have a couple of big tournaments this week. We have more World Cup action. We'll see if US can pull a hat trick and win all 3 games in their pool. We'll continue to track our friend Freddie and see
Yes.
how his adventures in Canada go. And we will see you guys all next week for lots more updates. So
Yes.
have a great week. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.